Hello students. So students, in the previous class in this chapter, that is chemical reaction and equation, we were talking about the different types of the reaction, and in this students we had discussed the different types of a reaction including the combination, the decomposition, then we have seen the displacement, then double displacement, and finally we have seen that of the oxidation and reduction method. And in oxidation and reduction students, we have seen that what is that oxidizing agent and what is that reducing agent. When we talk about the agent, you know that the oxidizing agent is that agent which reduces itself to oxidize atom. Reducing agent is that agent which reduces itself, which oxidizes itself to complete the process of reduction. So that is that agent, it means oxidizing agent and reducing agent. In the oxidation reaction students, we had understood with that when the oxygen is added, then oxidation happen. When oxygen is removed, reduction happen. When hydrogen is added, reduction. When hydrogen is removed or removal of hydrogen occur, that is oxidation. When there is loss of electron, then oxidation. When there is a gain of electron, then reduction. So by this we have categorized it into the oxidation and reduction one, students. Now we have understood this with the help of the different examples also. Now if we talk about this oxidation, so there are something which happens because of the oxidation, okay, which we called as the effect of oxidation, and these effect we can see in our daily life. So let us see that what are the different effects of oxidation. So effects of oxidation. So the effects of oxidation that happen in our daily life is, the first one is the corrosion and the second one is the rancidity. If we talk about the corrosion students, you will see that in case of a corrosion, there also oxidation happen. In case of rancidity, there also the oxidation happen. How they differ from each other, let us discuss about it by starting with that of the corrosion. So, at first we will write here corrosion. Let me tell you one more thing students before we go and understand that of the corrosion. You see that respiration process is also showing the oxidation. You know that we used to inhale, we used to take food and that will get converted into glucose, and we used to inhale oxygen, and this oxygen is used to break that of the glucose so that we get energy. So respiration process is also an oxidation process. Second one, combustion students. You see, combustion of any of the substance, it means burning of the substances, there also use of oxygen happen. You know that the process of combustion, it will be continued or it will be completed only in the presence of the oxygen. It means if oxygen is there, only then the process of combustion can occur smoothly. Okay, then the third one students, we can say that of the corrosion, that how the oxidation process occur in that of the metal, and finally the rancidity. So these are some of the effects that we can see in our daily life because of the oxidation process. Now moving on, and we will start with that of the corrosion. So basically corrosion is what? It is a slow process. Slow process of what? Or slow degradation, in which the surface of the metal get corroded since it get oxidizes, or we can say since it react with the air, with the oxygen or the moisture present in the atmosphere. Okay, so we can write the definition of corrosion is corrosion is a slow process corrosion is a slow process in which the surface of the metallic object surface of the metallic objects are coated with oxides, hydroxide, carbonate, then sulfur, or we can say sulfide. Instead of sulfur we can use the term that is sulfide also. Carbonate or coated with sulfides of metals. So this is the corrosion, students, in which it is a kind of a slow process in which the surface of the metallic object it is coated with oxide, with hydroxide, carbonate, sulfide of the metal. Okay, so this is the definition of that of the corrosion. Now what happened because of the corrosion? So we can write it that this leads to destruction. Destruction of what? Of metal. This leads to destruction of metals by chemicals, or electrochemical reaction with the environment. Okay, with the environment. Okay, so we can say that because of the corrosion process, there is a destruction happen, and that will lead to the, we can say, the formation of a sulfide or a carbonate will lead to the destruction of the metal surface. Okay. Now we can understand the process of corrosion with the help of the examples, and then we will also see that how corrosion happens in iron as well as in case of a silver or in case of the copper. So some of the examples of corrosion. Examples of corrosion are, students, that is, first one, development of green coating on copper. Green coating on copper. Second one, that is tarnishing of silver. Tarnishing of silver. Third one is rusting of iron. Tarnishing of silver, development of green coating on copper, and rusting of iron, these all are the examples of the corrosion. Now, let us see that how and what is the reaction happens when the corrosion occurs to the copper, tarnishing of the silver happen, and in case of rusting of iron. So, we will start with that of the corrosion of copper, students. Corrosion of copper. So basically what happened, this copper will react with the moist air, and moist air means carbon dioxide, water and oxygen. This is what? This is the moist air. Okay? Copper. After the reaction, you will find that there is a formation of a copper carbonate or basic copper carbonate. Okay, so when due to the presence of the light, due to absorption of the heat, there is a formation of the product. I am writing the product here, students. So the product is CuCO3 dot CuOH whole twice, which is also called as basic copper carbonate, and this is green in color. This is of green color. So copper, due to the presence of the moist air, it means it reacts with carbon dioxide, it will react with the oxygen and water, and finally there is a formation of a copper carbonate which is green in color. So CuCO3, that will give CuOH whole twice. Okay. So this happens in that of the corrosion of a copper. So there is a formation of a green coating on the surface of copper, which we can say that corrosion of copper happens. Next one is silver. Okay. So how the corrosion of silver occurs. So we can write it that so this silver articles basically they lose their luster and develop black coating on its surface. Develop a black coating on its surface. This we called as the oxidation of the silver, that will give the silver sulfide. So this is due to oxidation to silver sulfide. Oxidation to silver sulfide, and this happens when this silver, that is Ag, react with the hydrogen sulfide H2S. It means and the hydrogen sulfide will react with the silver metal. There is a formation of a silver sulfide. That is Ag2S plus H2. Okay, this is silver sulfide, which is black coating, which is a black coating. Okay, silver sulfide, which is a black coating. So when the silver react with the hydrogen sulfide, there is a formation of a silver sulfide and H2 will be released. So this will comes in the corrosion of a silver, student. Moving on, and we will see the next one, and that is of iron. So corrosion of iron, which we use in another term for it, and that is rusting. Okay, corrosion of iron. Corrosion of iron. Now you see here, students, here iron also flaky powder. Okay, flaky powder, reddish brown silver hydroxide, iron oxide, flaky powder coating of reddish brown color, which is basically hydrated iron oxide. What happened here, when this iron, it reacts with that of the moisture as well as the oxygen present here. So there is a formation of a ferric oxide, hydrated ferric oxide. This O2 we can write it as a 3/2 here, and here it is H2. Okay, this is 2/3. So here we will use the term for it, that is hydrated ferric oxide, which is reddish brown in color. Let me write it here. This is reddish brown color. Okay, this is in the reddish brown color. So you can see here, student, this is also an example of a corrosion of a iron. So we have seen here 3 examples of the corrosion, in which when the metal is exposed to that of the light, exposed to that of the moisture as well as the air, it will react with the air, it will react with the moisture, and there is a formation of another layer which degraded, which destructed the surface of the metal, and that we call as the corrosion. Now let us see that how we can prevent this corrosion. So the first thing that we can use here to prevent corrosion, student, prevention of corrosion. So the first thing that we can use a paint or varnishes. Okay, so if we paint and varnishes, there will be a formation of another layer, and due to which the reaction between the metal and the moisture or the air can be prevented, and ultimately the corrosion will be prevented. So we can write it that first one, by coating their surface with paint or varnish. Paint or varnish. Second one, movable part of machines corrosion can be prevented movable part of the machine corrosion can be prevented by applying oil or grease on it. By applying oil or grease on it. Next one, corrosion can be prevented by making a surface of a non-corrosive metals. Okay, so coating their surface with non-corrosive metals. Like what? We can use copper to prevent the corrosion of the copper. We can use tin. So if we will use tin, that will help in preventing the corrosion. So non-corrosive metal, it can be tin. Even we can use silver or gold, because silver or gold is what? It is a non-reactive, so we can use the lead or this non-corrosive metal to prevent the corrosion. Okay. Then the next one is by alloys. Next one is by converting them into alloys. By converting them into alloys. Alloys are what? When the two or more metal they combine, or a metal or a non-metal combine, this will increases their resistivity, will increases their durability as well as resistance to that of the corrosion, and finally this is having more strength than that of the metal itself. So basically the thing that we have to understand here, that how it prevent the corrosion, since the other metal is also combined with it, so the reaction will be prevented and ultimately the corrosion can be prevented. Finally, we can prevent corrosion by the process of galvanization. So in the process of galvanization, what happened? A coating of a other metal like zinc is coated over that of the iron. That is a process of galvanization. So we can use this method also to prevent the corrosion, student. So this is the first one by which we can prevent the oxidation of the materials. The second one is again the oxidation, but this time the oxidation is of the food material, oxidation of the fats and oil, okay, which we call as rancidity. Rancidity. What is rancidity, student? Basically, aerial oxidation of fats and oils present in the food material that will going to give a foul smell from the food, that is known as rancidity. So, we can write it that the aerial oxidation of fats oil containing food materials by unpleasant smell. It means a foul smell or an unpleasant smell when starts coming out of the food, we will say that it is rancid food. It means the oxidation happens here and due to which the smell is coming out. Okay, so rancidity causes this unpleasant smell and thus it is not fit for consumption. Okay, so since a foul smell is coming, oxidation happened, due to which it is not good for eating, it is not fit for consumption. Then the next one, students, that how we are able to prevent the rancidity or how we can prevent rancidity. So, you see, then how can we? How can we prevent rancidity? You see, the first thing here we have seen that in case of a rancidity, there is an aerial oxidation of the food, oxidation of the fats or the oil present in the food happens. So, if we will use antioxidant, that will not going to, that will prevent the oxidation, ultimately we are able to prevent the rancidity also. So, the first one is use of antioxidants. Use of antioxidants. Okay. So, examples are BHA, which is also called as butylated hydroxy anisole, and the next one is BHT, that is butylated hydroxy toluene. Butylated hydroxy anisole, butylated hydroxy toluene. These are the antioxidant. If we will use it, ultimately it will going to prevent the oxidation and help in preventing the rancidity. So this is the first one that we use an antioxidant. The second one that we can use, a student, that while packing, we will use or pack the material, the food item, by using the nitrogen gas, which is an unreactive gas. Okay, so packing of bags or packing of food materials flushed with nitrogen gas. Okay, so nitrogen gas, because student, nitrogen is an unreactive gas, so you have seen if we will use the chips and all, the consisting of the gas, and the gas is of nitrogen, that will help in preventing the rancidity, and we are using this gas since it is an unreactive gas. The other point, that is use of antioxidant, this, and that is low temperature. So if we will keep our food in a low temperature place, this will help in reducing the rancidity, and that is why you see, because the rancidity process, oxidation process get reduced or become low at a low temperature, that is why we used to keep our food in a refrigerator. Then the next one is storing the food in a airtight container. So airtight container or a vacuum packing, that all will comes in a prevention of a recidivity, because if no air will be there, so no such kind of a recidivity will happen. Finally, we should not keep the food exposed to that of the sunlight, which if exposure of the sunlight will not there, then it will also retard the process of recidivity. So these all are some of the process by which we are able to prevent the recidivity process.